The owls in Chandler's wood. The phone rang almost off the hook, but I got to it in time. "You'd better come here and take a look," said the voice of Esther Klein. I shook my head, rolled over in bed and said, "It's after 1. "It's after 1 in the morning, Es." She said, "You'd better come." Es was an ornithologist, and she lived in Chandler's wood. She'd never been an apologist, but demanded when she could. "It's pretty late," I tried to state. "Can it wait until I'm free?" Her voice came rattling down the line. "Not now, just come and see." I dropped the phone with a silent curse as I scrambled out of bed, and wondered which of her feathered friends had disturbed the woman's head. She'd called me out for a frigate bird that she'd spotted from her snug, and many a rare and crested tern, and even a vagrant dove. I wore a hat and a leather coat. It was getting cold outside. Grabbed me a pair of driving gloves and I took the four-wheel drive. His track was sticky in Chandler's wood. It had rained the day before, and headed in through the maple trees to the house she called Jackdaw. I pulled up by her veranda. She had been waiting there for me. Handed over a walking stick. "To beat them off, you'll see." We walked together towards the lake, and there we saw old Jack. The poor old guy was about to die, was lying flat on his back. He seemed to have lost a lot of blood. It was streaked all over his face. His shirt was tattered, his trousers torn. There was blood all over the place. And round him gathered the strangest group that ever I've seen, no lies. But there was a couple of hundred owls, and one had pecked out his eyes. I started to raise the walking stick. "Shall I beat them off with this?" She said she didn't know what to do, the ornithologist. "The stick is just to protect yourself should they suddenly attack. Owls are nocturnal hunting birds. We don't want to end like Jack." There were tawny owls and scrawny owls and a snowy owl or two, a couple of hundred barn owls up in the trees for a better view. The moon was reflected in their eyes as they sat and stared us down, perched in the trees around us, and a blink, not making a sound. Esther motioned to come away. "We can't do anything here. We'll come again in the morning when the ground and the trees are clear." So we edged away and we got to pray, but neither would turn our back. We knew if we tried to run away, we'd end up as dead as Jack. No sooner back at the house Jackdaw, we locked the shutters in place, bolted the front and laundry doors and blocked the chimney piece. Esther put on the kettle thinking to make a pot of tea, but outside there was a whirring sound, so we both looked out to see. The owls were perched on the handrail, on the veranda, all in a line. They stared at the house unblinking, being so patient, biding their time. They pecked their way through the telephone line. We couldn't call out by phone. And then they set up a screeching that sent chills through me to the bone. I knew all about the hoot owl, but I'd never have heard them screech if Esther hadn't have called me up when I should have been asleep. The screeching rattled the window panes, then Esther let out a howl, and suddenly they all flew away. There wasn't a single owl. They found her out in the woods today. I can't say I was surprised. They said it must be a bird of prey, attacked and pecked out her eyes. I've never been back to Chandler's wood since I got that late night call. But I don't want to end like Esther, so I keep a gun on the wall.